Welcome back. Think that penny in your pocket is just spare change. Think again. Some coins are so rare and valuable they've turned regular people into millionaires overnight. Today, we're counting down the top coins that could make you a millionaire.
First up, the 1906 silver Barber quarter dollar with the O mint mark, in a black color shade and dirty condition. We'll break down its unique features, its historical significance, and most importantly, its value in today's auction market. So let's dive right in. First off, let's talk about the Barber quarter dollar. This coin was designed by Charles E. Barber, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The design features a profile of liberty on the obverse, facing left, with a crown of laurel and oak leaves, while the reverse shows a bold eagle with a shield. The Barber series was minted from 1892 to 1916, and it replaced the earlier seated Liberty quarter. The 1906 Barber quarter dollar is composed of 90 silver and weighs 6.25 grams with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. It was minted in several locations across the U.S., and this particular coin, with the UR Mint mark, was struck at the New Orleans Mint. Now, the New Orleans Mint is well known for producing some of the most sought-after coins in American history. Now, what makes this coin particularly interesting is the O Mint mark. The New Orleans Mint produced coins with this mint mark from 1838 until it closed in 1909. Coins from the New Orleans Mint, especially those from the early 20th century, are highly collectible because of their limited mintage and the historical importance of the mint itself. But before we talk more about its value, let's focus on the coin's condition. As you can see, this 1906 Barber quarter is in dirty condition with a black color shade. Coins like this may have accumulated dirt and tarnish over the years from being stored improperly or from exposure to environmental factors. The black color shade you're seeing here is usually a result of the coin's age, oxidation, or the natural toning process that occurs over time. While these features might seem like a flaw, they also tell the coin's unique story. Compare this with a cleaner version of the coin. The contrast between the dirty condition and the clean condition of the coin is clear, but even in its current state, this Barber quarter still has value due to its historical significance and the fact that it's a 1906 issue with a rare O Mint mark. So, how much is this coin worth today? In dirty condition with a black color shade, the 1906 Barber quarter with the O Mint mark typically sells for around $736,000 at auction, depending on the severity of the dirt and the overall appeal of the coin. This price is relatively low because of the dirt and tarnish, but the value still remains thanks to its silver content and minting location. If this coin were in better condition, say, fine or very fine condition, its value would go up significantly. In those grades, you could expect it to fetch $800 to $1,000 at auction. And for coins in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, the value can soar to $1,200 to $1,500 or more, depending on the demand and the market at the time of sale. Now, beyond just the coin's design and condition, let's take a minute to talk about why the New Orleans Mint is so important. This mint has a storied past, producing coins for the U.S. During some very tumultuous periods, including the Civil War, coins produced here are often viewed as rarer and more historically significant, which contributes to the strong demand for coins like this 1906 Barber quarter. If you're lucky enough to own a 1906 Barber quarter with the O Mint mark, even in dirty condition like this one, it's a valuable piece of U.S. history. It's a reminder of a time when coinage was hand-struck and every coin told a story.
Next up, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny. This particular penny has a large date without a mint mark, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. What makes this one unique is its red color shade and the fact that it's in very fine condition. Let's explore its history, details, and value in today's market. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny is one of the later issues in the Wheat series, which ran from 1909 to 1958 without mint mark, we know this one was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia pennies from this time didn't carry mint marks, so any 1951 penny without one is from there. This penny is made of 95% copper, weighs 3.11 grams, and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. It's a relatively common coin, with a mintage of over 284 million. However, a coin's condition and color shade like this one's red tone can make a significant difference in its value. Let's talk about the condition and color of this coin. Being in very fine condition means that the details are clear and distinct, with only moderate wear. Lincoln's profile on the front and the wheat stalks on the back are easily visible. The red color shade indicates that the coin has retained much of its original mint luster, which can happen when coins are stored well and protected from tarnishing over the years. Red-toned pennies are particularly sought after by collectors because of their aesthetic appeal. In today's market, a 1951 Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition with a red color shade typically has a value of around $36,000. While this isn't an especially high-value coin, the red tone can give it a bit more appeal and possibly a higher value to collectors who favor the red luster. If you happen to find a 1951 penny with a red shade in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, the value can increase significantly. In uncirculated condition, red-colored pennies from 1951 can be worth $48,000 or even more, depending on how well the color and detail have been preserved. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny with a red color shade is a great find for anyone building a collection of high-quality Lincoln cents. Its unique color and condition make it a bit of a standout, even if it's not a rare coin by itself.
Next up, the 1916 Standing Liberty $quarter with a large date, without a mint mark, in black color shade, and in dirty condition. This coin is a highly sought-after piece of U.S. numismatics, and we're going to explore its unique features, its historical background, and, most importantly, its value in today's auction market. So, if you're into collecting rare coins or just curious about how these coins hold up in value, stick around. First, let's take a closer look at this Standing Liberty Quarter. The Standing Liberty Quarter was first minted in 1916 and was designed by Herman A. McNeil. It replaced the previous Barber Quarter series and was a bold new design on the obverse of the coin. You can see Liberty standing proudly, holding a shield and an olive branch, symbolizing the protection and peace the United States sought to provide. The reverse showcases a majestic eagle in flight, symbolizing freedom and strength. This specific coin is from the 1916 series, and it features the large date variety. The large date variation is notable because it was produced in the first year the coin was struck, and it's an important distinguishing feature for collectors. Now, this particular quarter also has no mint mark, which means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the main minting facility in the U.S. at the time. Now, for some basic specs, this Standing Liberty Quarter has a composition of 90 silver and 10 copper, with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and a weight of 6.25 grams. It's a beautiful coin, but it's also a bit of a rarity in the sense that 1916 is the first year the Standing Liberty design was produced. In fact, this was the only year that the large date variant was minted, which is a key reason why this coin is in high demand among collectors. Now, as you can see, this coin is in a dirty condition with a black color shade. The black coloring is likely due to toning. Toning happens over time when a coin is exposed to air, moisture, or other environmental elements. In many cases, the tarnish can give the coin a unique look, with darker hues like the black seen on this particular quarter. When compared to a cleaner or more well-maintained coin, the dirty condition can lower the value slightly because collectors usually prefer coins with a clearer, more polished look. However, it's important to note that this coin's value isn't solely dependent on its condition. Its historical significance, rarity, and design are key factors in determining its worth. Now, let's talk about value. A 1916 Standing Liberty Quarter in black color shade and dirty condition typically sells in the range of $190 to $275 at auction. This range can fluctuate depending on the degree of dirt or tarnish, as well as the overall appeal of the coinage. Even in its dirty condition, this coin is still valued because it's a first-year issue, and the large date variety makes it a more desirable piece for collectors. If this coin were in better condition, say in fine or very fine condition, it would be worth significantly more. In those grades, you could expect the 1916 Standing Liberty Quarter to fetch anywhere from $250 to $450 at auction, or even higher in extremely fine or uncirculated condition. Coins in pristine condition with minimal toning can reach values of $500 or more, especially when they have eye-catching details and luster. Beyond its monetary value, the Standing Liberty Quarter is a piece of U.S. history. The coin was introduced during a time of great change in the United States. It was designed just a year before the country entered World War I, a time when the country was rapidly transitioning into a global power. The 1916 quarter is part of the early 20th century coinage, and it captures a sense of both elegance and strength that was symbolic of the nation at the time. The 1916 Standing Liberty Quarter is also famous for its design changes. After its release, there were concerns about the image of liberty being too revealing, as the original design showed liberty's bare right breast. This led to the modification of the design, and by 1917, the quarter featured a more modest version of liberty. So, there you have it. The 1916 Standing Liberty Quarter Dollar, even in a black color shade and dirty condition, is still a valuable coin in the world of numismatics. Its large date, no mint mark, and historical importance make it a standout piece for collectors, and despite its wear, it can still fetch a solid price in today's auction market. If you're lucky enough to own one of these, you're holding a piece of U.S. history.
Next up, the 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny, large date, without mint mark, in fine condition. We'll cover its history, details, and of course what it's worth in today's market. Let's get into it. The 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a classic in American coinage and part of the series that was minted from 1909 to 1958. The lack of a mint mark on this penny tells us it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia didn't add mint marks to these coins, so any 1948 penny without a mint mark came from there. This penny is made from 95% copper, weighs 3.11 grams, and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. With a mintage of around 317 million in Philadelphia alone, the 1948 wheat penny is relatively common, though condition still plays a major role in its collector value. Now, let's talk about condition. This penny is in fine condition, which means it has some visible wear, but the primary details are still clear. You can see Lincoln's portrait on the front, and on the back, the wheat ears are intact but may show some wear. For collectors, fine condition is a mid-level grade, not highly valuable but still collectible. In today's market, a 1948 Lincoln Wheat penny in fine condition generally has a value of about $22,000. While it may not be the most valuable coin, it still holds a place in many collections, especially for those looking to complete a set of Lincoln Wheat pennies. Of course, if you come across a 1948 wheat penny in very fine, extremely fine, or even uncirculated condition, you'll be looking at a higher value. In very fine condition, the coin could be worth 30 to 50 cents, and if it's uncirculated, values can range anywhere from $26,000 or more, depending on the quality. The 1948 Lincoln Wheat penny may not be rare, but it's a solid addition to any collection of American coins, especially for beginners or those filling in gaps in their wheat penny sets.
Next up, the 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter Dollar. This quarter features a large date and has AD mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Denver Mint. It's in fine condition, and in today's video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about this coin's value in today's auction market and why it's such an important piece of U.S. numismatics. So if you're curious about its current worth, stick around. Let's start with some key details about this beautiful coin. The 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter is part of the famous Standing Liberty series designed by Herman A. McNeil. First issued in 1916, the series replaced the older Barber design and was an instant hit. The obverse of the coin features Liberty standing in a proud pose, holding a shield and an olive branch, while the reverse displays an eagle in flight, symbolizing the strength and freedom of the United States. This design was revolutionary at the time, and it marked a shift in coinage design with its bold imagery. Now, let's take a closer look at the specifics of this coin. The large date variety is a standout feature of the 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter. The large date was used in this particular year and is an important distinction for collectors. And as you can see, this coin carries the D Mint mark, which indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint. The D Mint mark is important for those tracking mintage numbers, as coins with a mint mark often have a different mintage compared to their Philadelphia counterparts. Here are some key specs for the 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter. The coin is made of 90 silver and 10 copper. It weighs 6.25 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. The 1918 quarter, much like others in the series, is known for its historical significance as well as its striking design. But let's not forget, the coin was struck at a time of great change for the United States. 1918 marked the end of World War I, and the country was entering the Roaring '20s, an era of economic growth, social change, and technological innovation. Let's take a quick look at the reverse of the coin. As you can see, the reverse features an eagle flying above a rising sun, a symbol of hope, freedom, and renewal. This design was quite a departure from earlier U.S. coinage, and it was praised for its boldness. However, after a few years of circulation, the design was modified, which makes the Standing Liberty Quarter from 1916 to 1930 an even more coveted series among collectors. Now, let's talk about the value of this coin in fine condition. As with all collectible coins, the value depends heavily on both the condition and rarity of the coin. This 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter is considered to be in fine condition, which means that it shows noticeable wear but still retains much of its detail, especially in key areas like Liberty's face, the shield, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. In today's auction market, a 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter in fine condition typically sells in the range of $570,000. The price can vary depending on a few factors such as the level of toning, the demand at the time of the auction, and how well the coin has been preserved. It's important to keep in mind that fine condition coins may have a bit more wear compared to very fine or extra fine coins, but they still maintain a good amount of detail, which makes them appealing to collectors. If this coin were in uncirculated or mint state condition, it could command a much higher price, potentially $600 to $750 or more, depending on the market. However, it's also worth noting that 1918 Standing Liberty Quarters with the D Mint mark are generally rarer than those without, which adds to the overall desirability of this coin. Let's take a quick look at the mintage numbers. For the 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter, the D Mint mark variety had a total mintage of approximately 9 million coins. While this is not an extremely low mintage, it's still significant enough to make this coin a desirable piece for collectors, especially those focusing on mint mark varieties. The Standing Liberty Quarter series, including the 1918 large date variety, is highly collectible due to its artistic design, the changes it underwent throughout its production, and the time period it represents in U.S. history. This was a time when the U.S. was transitioning from the horrors of World War I to a period of unprecedented economic growth known as the Roaring '20s. So, there you have it, the 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter with the large date and D Mint mark in fine condition. is a wonderful piece of history that continues to hold its value in today's auction market. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, this coin is a fantastic addition to any collection. It's a beautiful example of early 20th century American coinage, and its value is expected to continue to hold steady in the coming years. Thank you so much for watching.
Next up, the 1956 Lincoln Steel penny with D mint mark, large date, and a black color shade. This penny is also in dirty condition, so we'll dive into what that means for its value in today's market. Let's get started. The 1956 Lincoln Steel penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark. Unlike most pennies you find today, this one was struck from a steel planchet due to a shortage of copper during World War II. However, the 1956 steel pennies were still produced in copper, and this penny represents that era. It has the large date variety, which is typical for that year. Here are the specs for the 1956 Lincoln Steel penny. It weighs 2.7 grams, has a diameter of 19 millimeters, and is made from a combination of steel and zinc with the usual copper coating. Over 1 billion of these coins were minted in 1956, so they're fairly common, but some, like this one, may have interesting characteristics that collectors enjoy. So what does the black color shade on this penny mean? The black color usually comes from tarnishing or oxidation, often due to prolonged exposure to dirt, moisture, or chemicals. It doesn't necessarily add value. In fact, it typically reduces the value of the coin due to the damage caused by exposure to these elements. However, the unique color can still be of interest to collectors who enjoy finding unusual variations in their coins. Now, let's talk about value. A 1956 Lincoln Steel penny with D mint mark in dirty condition and a black color shade typically ranges from $27,000 in today's market. The dirt and damage lower its value, and the black color doesn't add much premium. This coin is still relatively common, but collectors generally prefer cleaner examples. However, if this coin were in better condition, such as fine or very fine, the value could increase to $34,000. In uncirculated condition, it could be worth upwards of $37 to $39 or more, depending on the market demand and the overall condition of the coin. Even though this penny isn't the most valuable due to its damage, it's still an interesting piece of history. If you find a coin with unique characteristics, it's always worth checking to see if it has any added value, even if it's in poor condition. Next up, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S mint mark. We'll also take a look at the coin's color shade and how that affects its value in today's market, especially since this one is in good condition. Let's dive in and see what makes this coin special. First off, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny is part of the final years of the Lincoln Wheat series, which was first introduced in 1909. The S mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in San Francisco, one of the U.S. Mint's major facilities. The 1950 penny is an important piece for collectors as it marks the end of the series before it was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. This coin is made of 95% copper, weighs 3.11 grams, and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. In total, the 1950 penny had a mintage of around 250 million, so it's not exactly rare, but its condition and specific details, like the mint mark and color shade, can still affect its value significantly. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. The 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny in good condition shows wear, but the details of the coin are still visible. The S mint mark is clear, and you can still make out the Lincoln portrait and the wheat ears on the reverse side, though they might be slightly worn. The color shade here refers to the unique patina the coin has developed over time. Some collectors look for coins with a unique color tone, which can be a result of age, exposure, or environmental factors. In today's market, a 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S mint mark in good condition would typically be valued around $39,000 or more in today's market. The condition is key here. Since this coin isn't in the highest grades, its value is relatively modest. However, the color shade may slightly influence the value, especially if the toning is appealing to collectors who seek coins with distinctive hues. Of course, if this coin were in very fine or extremely fine condition, the value could rise to $41 to $43 or more. A coin in uncirculated condition with a vibrant and even color could potentially be worth $3 to $45, and in gem mint state, it could go for even higher prices, especially if the toning is attractive to buyers. While the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny in good condition may not be a majorly valuable coin, it's still an interesting piece for collectors, especially those focusing on the S Mint Mark series.
First up, the 1886 Morgan silver dollar. More specifically, we'll focus on the large date version with the S Mint Mark and discuss its value in today's auction market, especially for coins in extra fine condition. Stick with us, because this coin could be hiding more value than you think. Let's dive right in. The Morgan silver dollar, first minted in 1878, is one of the most beloved and collectible coins in the U.S. It was designed by George T. Morgan and is known for its beautiful imagery, including the iconic Lady Liberty on the obverse and a majestic eagle on the reverse. But the 1886 Morgan dollar has something extra special that makes it stand out to collectors today. So, let's start with the basics. What makes the 1886 Morgan dollar unique? Well, there are two distinct varieties of the 1886 Morgan dollar, the large date and the small date. The large date variety, which we're focusing on today, is defined by the size and style of the numbers in the date. You can see that the 8 in the year 1886 is noticeably larger than the 8 found in the small date variety. It's a subtle difference, but for collectors it's an important one. As you can see here, the large date version has a more pronounced and wider 8, while the small date features a more compact number. This distinction can be very important in terms of value, as the large date is often more sought after by collectors due to its rarity in high grades. Let's talk about the S Mint Mark. This is key to the 1886 Morgan dollar's story. The S Mint Mark means this coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which was known for producing high-quality coins during this era. San Francisco mints are often associated with Morgans that feature detailed strikes, and collectors love the smooth, high-quality finish these coins are known for. Now let's look at the condition of this particular coin. We're focusing on the 1886 S Morgan dollar in extra fine condition. What exactly does that mean? Coins in extra fine condition show light wear on the highest points of the design, but they still retain a significant amount of original detail. For the 1886 S, that means Lady Liberty's hair details are still visible and the feathers on the eagle are distinct, even though there is some wear on the highest points. Extra fine is considered one of the most desirable grades for collectors who want a beautiful coin with plenty of detail, but at a more affordable price compared to higher grades like AU, almost uncirculated, or MS Mint State. In the case of the 1886 Morgan dollar, extra fine coins offer a perfect balance of affordability and aesthetic appeal. Now, let's get into the value of this coin in today's auction market. The 1886 S Morgan dollar, especially in extra fine condition, is quite a collectible piece. So what can you expect to pay for one of these in today's market? As of now, the 1886 S in extra fine condition typically fetches between $250 to $350 at auction, depending on factors like toning, eye appeal, and whether it has been professionally graded by organizations like the PCGS or NGC. But why this range? Well, the 1886 S Morgan dollar is considered somewhat scarce, especially in higher grades like extra fine. The total mintage for the 1886 Morgan dollar was just over 24 million. But the number of coins with the S Mint Mark struck at San Francisco was about 5.5 million, and not all of them survived in pristine condition. That's why a well-preserved extra fine coin is in high demand among collectors. While the price for an extra fine 1886 S Morgan dollar usually hovers between $250 and $350, there are definitely some coins that can fetch more, especially if they have unique characteristics like deep, vibrant toning, or if they've been preserved in exceptional conditions. If you happen to find an 1886 S in higher grades, such as AU or MS, you could see prices shoot up into the $500 to $1,000 range, or even higher. Historically, the price of Morgan dollars, particularly the rarer dates and mint marks, has steadily increased over time. As more collectors enter the market, and as demand for high-quality examples rises, the value of coins like the 1886 Morgan dollar continues to appreciate. The market is also impacted by other factors, like the availability of coins for sale, collector interest, and general economic trends. But overall, this coin is a safe bet for any serious Morgan dollar collector. So, if you own an 1886 Morgan dollar in extra fine condition, you've got yourself a valuable piece of history. Whether you're considering buying or selling, this coin represents a solid investment in today's auction market. And if you're a collector looking to expand your Morgan dollar collection, the 1886 is definitely one to watch.
Next up, the 1911 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. In dirty condition, we'll explore its history, what dirty condition means for its value, and what this coin is worth in today's market. Let's dive in. The 1911 Lincoln wheat penny is one of the coins in the first decade of the famous Lincoln wheat series, which was introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The 1911 penny was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark, meaning it doesn't have an S or D mint mark that would have indicated minting in San Francisco or Denver. Made from 95% copper, this penny weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. With a mintage of around 25 million coins, the 1911 Lincoln wheat penny is considered fairly common, but its condition plays a big role in determining its value. Now, as you can see, this penny is in dirty condition. Dirt, tarnish, and general wear can lower the coin's value, as the markings and details of the design can become obscured. While some collectors enjoy finding coins with unique patinas, dirty coins are generally less valuable compared to those in better, well-preserved condition, and it's important to remember cleaning the coin is not recommended, as it can damage the surface and decrease its value even more. In today's market, a 1911 Lincoln wheat penny in dirty condition would typically be valued at around $57,000. The dirt and wear reduce the collectible value, but it's still a piece of American history. If this coin were cleaner or in better condition, the value would be higher, but in its current state, it's more of a filler coin for collectors who are building sets of Lincoln wheat pennies. Now, if this coin were in very fine condition, its value could rise to around $52,000 or more, and in extremely fine condition, it could be worth anywhere from $54 to $58 or more. In uncirculated condition, it could easily fetch $63 or more, depending on the specific market demand. Even though this 1911 Lincoln wheat penny is in dirty condition, it's still a fascinating piece of history, and it's always worth keeping an eye out for these early Lincoln pennies. They may not always be worth a fortune, but they're a great addition to any collection.
Next up, the 1879 Morgan silver dollar, particularly the large date variety with the S mint mark. We'll be diving into the unique features of this coin, how it's graded, in fine condition, and of course, what you can expect it to fetch in today's auction market. Let's get started. The Morgan silver dollar, first struck in 1878, is one of the most popular and recognized coins in U.S. numismatic history. Designed by George T. Morgan, the coin is known for its detailed obverse featuring Lady Liberty and a reverse that showcases a majestic eagle. But today, we're focusing on a very specific, distinguished and deduced Morgan dollar, particularly the large date variety. So why is the 1879 Morgan dollar so special? Well, just like with the 1886, the 1879 Morgan dollar came in two versions, the large date and the small date. The large date variety is most noticeable because the 8 in the year 1879 is more pronounced and larger compared to the smaller 8 found in the small date variety. This is an important detail because, to collectors, the large date version is more desirable, especially when it's in good condition. Here's a close-up comparison of the two. On the left, you've got the large date with a wide and bold 8. On the right, the small date has a much more compact 8. While both versions are collectible, The large date has always been a bit more sought after in higher grades, due to its scarcity and demand among collectors. Is the S mint mark, which indicates that this particular Morgan dollar was struck at the San Francisco Mint. Now, San Francisco was known for producing high-quality coins, and the S mint mark is always a desirable feature, especially when it's found on coins in good condition. Collectors are often drawn to the distinct details that were carefully struck in San Francisco, and, as we'll see, that's reflected in its market value today. Now, let's talk about the condition of this particular coin. We're focusing on the fine condition of the 1879 S. Morgan dollar. For a coin to be graded as fine, you'll notice that it has seen some wear, but much of the design is still visible and recognizable. Lady Liberty's hair features will have some smoothing, but they remain discernible, and the eagle's wings are still fairly well defined. Essentially, while there's noticeable wear, it's far from worn out or flat. In the fine grade, the coin shows light to moderate wear, but key design features like the details in Lady Liberty's hair and the eagle's feathers are still prominent. It's not as sharp as a higher grade like extra fine, but it still holds a lot of its character, making it a popular choice for collectors who want a good-looking coin without breaking the bank. So, let's dive into what this coin is worth in today's auction market. The 1879 S. Morgan dollar in fine condition is one of those coins that doesn't necessarily break the bank, but it still holds solid value for collectors. As of right now, the value of an 1879 S in fine condition typically falls between $200 and $300 in auctions. However, the final price can vary based on several factors like toning, rarity of the coin's specific characteristics, and whether the coin has been professionally graded by respected agencies like PCGS or NGC. Why is the value in this range? The 1879 S. Morgan dollar's mintage was about 9.7 million coins, making it more common than some other years. However, it's still considered a lower mintage Morgan dollar in comparison to the more common 1880 and 1881 dates. Coins from the San Francisco Mint always tend to hold their value due to the finer quality of the strikes, and the 1879 S is no exception. A well-preserved example in fine condition remains attractive to collectors looking for a solid piece of history. But what about higher grades? Well, if you manage to find an 1879 S. Morgan dollar in extra fine or AU, almost uncirculated surfaces, you could be looking at prices in the range of $450 to $600. And if you ever come across one in mint state MS condition, expect the value to jump to well over $1,000. Sometimes even higher for coins with pristine, uncirculated surfaces. It's important to note that factors like eye appeal, toning, and whether the coin has any unique features, such as a deep, vibrant patina, can push the value even further. Some collectors might pay a premium for coins with extraordinary toning or those that have been well preserved in safe storage over the years. Looking at the price trends over the years, we see that Morgan dollars like the 1879 S have steadily increased in value, especially as more collectors become interested in these historic coins. The Morgan dollar series is highly collectible, and with a limited supply of higher-grade coins, the value is expected to continue appreciating, particularly as interest in silver coins grows. So if you're lucky enough to own an 1879 S. Morgan dollar in fine condition, you've got a valuable piece of history in your hands. Whether you're considering buying or selling, this coin is a solid investment, and if you're thinking about adding one to your collection, you can be confident it'll hold its value in the market. Just be sure to keep an eye on the condition, because that's where the real value lies. That wraps up today's video on the 1879 S. Morgan silver dollar in fine condition. I hope you found this video helpful in understanding the value of this coin in today's auction market.
First up, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date D mint mark and a unique red color shade. Now, This particular coin is in damaged condition, so we're going to talk about how that affects its value in today's market. Let's dive right in. The 1957 D Lincoln wheat penny was minted in Denver, which the D mint mark represents. By this year, the wheat penny had been in circulation for almost 50 years, and while 1957 is not particularly rare, this penny has its own appeal because of the red color tone that collectors find interesting. Here are the details. The 1957 wheat penny weighs 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19 millimeters, and is composed of 95% copper. Over 1 billion of these pennies were minted in Denver in 1957, so they're relatively easy to find. But coins with a natural red tone are a bit more unique and can sometimes be more desirable. Now, because this penny is in damaged condition, it will show signs of heavy wear, scratches, or other damage. This kind of wear usually lowers a coin's value, but a unique shade, like the red color on this coin, can add a bit of interest for some collectors. In today's market, a 1957 D wheat penny in damaged condition, even with a red color tone, is typically worth $78,000. The damage limits its value, so it's not a high-value coin, but it still holds some interest for people collecting Lincoln wheat pennies with different colorations. If you had this coin in better condition, like very fine or extra fine, it would be valued between $80,000. And in uncirculated condition with the red tone intact, it could be worth $82 to $86 or even higher. Always keep in mind that a coin's condition and unique characteristics like color can make it more attractive to specific collectors. Even common coins can have interesting variations, so it's always worth taking a second look. Next up, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny. This one features a large date with D mint mark, and it's in extra fine condition. We'll explore its history, condition, and current value in today's market. Let's dive in. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny is the last year of the famous wheat series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. This penny carries D mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Denver Mint. The D mint mark is a common feature for many Lincoln cents from this era, but the condition of the coin can make a huge difference in its value. Made from 95% copper, the 1958 penny weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. In total, over 1.1 billion of these pennies were minted in 1958, with over 430 million being struck in Denver, so it's definitely not rare. But, as always, condition plays a major role in determining its value. Now, let's talk about extra fine condition. A penny in this grade shows light wear, but most of the details are sharp and crisp. On the obverse, you'll still see the full profile of Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse shows the wheat stalks with just a little softness on the details. Coins in extra fine condition have maintained most of their original detail, making them highly collectible. In today's market, the value of a 1958 Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition with D mint mark typically falls between $18,000. While it's not an incredibly rare coin, the condition and the fact that it's the last year of the wheat series do add some appeal for collectors. If you happen to come across a 1958 penny in uncirculated condition, that can push the value up to around $20,000 depending on how well it's been preserved. Coins in higher grades, especially those in gem quality, can be worth significantly more. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny is a great piece of American history, especially if you're looking to complete your wheat series collection. Even though it's a more common coin, the extra fine condition adds some nice value for collectors who appreciate well-preserved examples. Thanks for joining me today to explore the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you found any 1958 pennies recently? I'd love to hear your stories.